Well, Scorpio, I hope you're keeping a lid on those frustrations this month. It's June 2015. I'm Dadhichi. For those of you that haven't been here, welcome. I'm the founder and director of astrology.com.au, and here just with your brief but hopefully useful monthly forecast. I don't go into elaborate details here. I like to just give you 5, 6, 7 minutes of what's going on. You can go to the site later. I'll give that to you at the end if you want more detailed analysis in a textual format of what's going on. I said frustration because, having Mercury, Sun, Mars, is one of your ruling planets, Mars, friendly planet, Sun, and then the retrograde Mercury, all in that 8th house, probably considered one of the worst houses of the zodiac, but certainly one of transformation. And that's what I'm seeing for you this month. Not that Scorpio is not about transformation. That seems to be the signature for Scorpio, death and regeneration, rebirth. But it's very pertinent now, especially with the retrogression of Mercury up until the 12th, there in that 8th house. You're dealing with other people. You're frustrated with the way money is being exchanged, the way people may be taking advantage of you now. You could be paying a lot more for the services that you're requesting, and having maybe committed yourself too deep, too far, there's no way of turning back now. So you may have to just see this through and just distract yourself with things that are a little bit more enjoyable. These things will come to the fore during the full moon that we're going to see around the 3rd. That's the 1st. So the two very important lunar transits of the full moon on the 3rd, occurring very near to the position of Saturn, which is there in your 2nd house now. 2nd house has to do with finance. Frustrating, slow, deliberate, unyielding in some ways. So these are the sorts of problems that may be highlighted by the full moon there on the 3rd. That moon will transit around 13, 14 days later, producing a new moon in this 8th house of shared resources. And it is a house of partnership to some extent. On a personal level, it has to do with your sexuality. On a business level, it has to do with the way you deal with money and the way you share those resources, the way you pay out those resources, which is also to do with the 12th house of the horoscope. Now, I think that's significant. Firstly, there's 2 points there this month that I'd like to discuss. First is the transiting retrograde Mercury in that 8th house. And if you looked at my opening video, you'll see that I mentioned that for some star signs, Mercury is not particularly a bad planet, but unfortunately for us, and I put myself in that category because I'm a Scorpio, we have to grin and bear the retrogression of Mercury. And for some of us, we will be very regretful of having gone down the path we have financially with someone or other. That retrogression takes place up until the 12th. I'm getting a strong feeling that for some of the projects or ideas or concepts or even deals that you've got going right now, things can start to move forward for you, Scorpio, after the forward movement of Mercury on the 12th. Then again, the new moon taking place on the 17th in the sign of Gemini in that 8th place is extraordinarily powerful, and I think that sets the trend for a whole lot of new opportunities for you. It's like wiping the slate clean. And of course, over the next couple of months, you're going to see those two fiery planets, those friendly planets of yours, Sun and Mars, moving into the upper part of the horoscope. Yes, you've got Jupiter there, but essentially what I think for Scorpio with Jupiter there, and I draw a distinction there between the Western astrologers and the Hindu astrologers. Hindu astrologers are of the opinion that Jupiter in the 10th house, particularly from the moon, in this case right now Jupiter in the 10th house from the sun, is not at all favourable. It can expand the business, but it brings a lot of troubles, and it may mean biting off more than you can chew and chewing like all hell to get through the to get through to the other end. One Saving grace there, however, in all of this for you is the transit of Venus, which takes place on the 6th, soon after that full moon. Venus moving into your 10th house should bring with it a lot more popularity. For some of you, you may have been working really, really hard and not really getting the results just now. So that's a very, very nice one. And the conjunction of Venus with Jupiter does indicate some prime opportunity coming for you in business. So if you're putting out your proposals, increase them, because in business everything is a numbers game, and the more proposals you have out there, the more likely you are to be successful. There are some other aspects there. We're going to look primarily at the the Sun is important for your career, sextile to Uranus on the 11th. Then we see the Sun conjunct Mars. That's a bit of a problem there, burning up your ruling planet. I think the peak of a lot of these problems, if you're having problems, will be around that combustion date, as I call it. The Sun gets hotter and hotter for Mars, burns it up. That takes place around the 15th of June. Watch your health at that time. Some of you are accident prone. Mars in the 8th house is not a good position. Fortunately, it's past that very critical opposition to Saturn, which was in your 2nd house. That frustration, I'd like to think, is past for all of us. Then, of course, the Sun conjoins the 9th house around the 22nd of June. So there's some journeys for some of you out there. Travels can be expected. Oh, that's interesting. I just noticed I've booked a journey to Singapore on the 18th, so my prediction's already coming true. I hadn't even thought of that. You know, it's like being a mechanic in this job. You know, you don't go home to work on your own car. So, you know, I occasionally look at my own horoscope, but not. You know, my mentor once told me a proctologist never looks up his own rear end for hemorrhoids, and I tend to agree with him on that. Astrologist should not really do his own horoscope. I mean, I've got a vague idea, but I'll go to my mentor if I need a horoscope. But it's interesting just to note that prediction that around the 22nd, yeah, for some of us a little bit earlier, there will be some journeys, long distance journeys, particularly with the 9th house being focused there. There is one problem with Venus on the 25th. It's squaring the Sun. That could show a bit too much socialising. You need to get everything back to business and stop dilly-dallying here and there. It's nice to be nice, but that doesn't bring the bacon home. The trine of Venus to Uranus on the 29th is a lovely, sudden but fortuitous aspect that could bring with it some unforeseen business opportunity. Look forward to your company next month. Hope that's helped. More there at the site, astrology.com.au. Again, I'm Dadhichi. Look forward to your company next month. Bye-bye.